What's going on there, YouTubers? This is Chuckles from Likes to Game with Chuckles, and I'm on vacation right now, and I'm pretty freaking bored. So I decided to redo my whole console setup, and I wanted to share it with you guys. Because originally I was having problems, well, I can only have a couple consoles hooked up, but then I had to, unplug another one and then put in another one. So pretty much what I wanted to do was to actually get like have them all hooked up at once, and then see where we go from there. So I actually ended up buying a couple things to actually to get this all working all at once. And let me turn the camera around. It's not working. Right back. All right. So pretty much what I did, if these are pretty much the consoles I have hooked up right now: Sega Dreamcast, PS1, PS2, 360, Xbox One, Nintendo 64, and on the bottom over here I got a GameCube, Sega Master System, a Super Nintendo, a Sega Saturn, and a Atari 2600. Now, pretty much what I did was actually get one of these. As you can see, I actually have all systems hooked up to that. And down here, I have all the systems hooked on that. So pretty much, I got this connected video outlet 1, video outlet 2. And of course, my Nintendo and my Sega Genesis are going to be hooked up to this TV, and along with my TurboGrafx, because they don't have any video wires. They got those like, screw in to your cable box bullshit thing. So pretty much what I pretty much did. Let's see if I can get a light going on. Let's see. Nope, no light. Anyways, I don't know if you guys can see back there. There's a 12 outlet breaker, kind of like this one right here, but it's 12. It's very long. You can't really see it from here. That's pretty much it. And it goes. I have about all consoles and TV hooked up to it, and I got it all hooked up to this box right here, which I found at the flea market at one time. And if you see right here, it says Nintendo 64, Xbox, PlayStation 2, Dreamcast, and DVD. Now what I have on DVD is my Xbox 360. So say for example, so instead of Nintendo 64, and it should be on video 1. Let's go ahead and put in video 1. So with that, I get Nintendo 64. And of course, before I used to have to change everything out. But now that I got them all hooked up and plugged in, I don't have to worry about that no more. And of course, we got Mischief on here. Now let's say we're gonna try Xbox. And there's the Xbox. So there's no going to the back of the TV and changing out anything. I can just pretty much play what I want. And it was kind of a hassle with all the wires in the back. If you look in the back, the wires are all jacked up. I have I think it's Chaos on here. SK versus Capcom Chaos. Yeah, it is. So there's that one. Now we go to PlayStation 2. I have the PS1 and the PS2, and they pretty much say they share the same wires. So right now I got the PS1 hooked up on it because the original wires I had for that were pretty much like jacked up and done. So until I get a new one, the PS2 and the PS1 are pretty much sharing the same video wires, just until I find another one. But of course, since when I do find another one for the PS1 or the PS2, they still gonna have to share the same outlet right here, because it doesn't have all of them. So that's all that. Let's see what game's on here. Sun's off. It's a shitty. I think it's a shitty Blaster Master. Yeah, it's Blaster Master on the PS1. I did like the intro though. Intro was pretty damn cool. But of course, it still won't beat the NES version in my opinion. So I only got it because I am a fan of Blast Master, and this game is okay. It's not the shit that I originally thought it was. It's still okay. So there's that. Now if you go to Dreamcast, you can hit Dreamcast there, and I have the Dreamcast hooked up. And it makes it really convenient to really, not worry about unhooking and hooking up all these consoles, especially when you have like a certain amount of consoles, and then you don't want to even mess with it no more, or like, I'm not gonna play it because it's not hooked up. And then, yeah, DVD is gonna be on 360. Yeah, so I have that going. So that's all hooked up to this one little box right here, and so I'm really happy about that. So I do have more consoles, but they're not hooked up. They can't all fit on that box. But I got this other one right here, and I pretty much have the Sega Master System, Super Nintendo, and Sega Saturn on it. Put in a video too. Of course, I got, it shows here, you see it's 1, 2, and 3, they're switches. If I put it on 1, it's going to be the Sega Master System. And again, all these consoles are hooked up to the back with that strip. Of course, we have Hang On and Safari Hunt. Of course, you turn that off. You go to 2. You got the Super Nintendo go on. Of course, this is Mario World Classic. And if I go to 3, I got the Saturn running. And of course, I think it has. This is a Japanese Saturn. It's modded to play American games as well. But let's see. What do I have in here? I don't even know. Let's see. God, I miss that Saturn sound. I'm sorry for the shaky camera, guys. I'm just doing this because I'm bored. But yeah, I do recommend you actually get a hold of one of these. They're called it's made by Pelican Accessories. I found this one for like $5 at the flea market, and I found this one for like $2 at a Goodwill. I think I have the Street Fighter collection on here. Yes, Street Fighter collection. And as far, I have all these consoles all hooked up with video wires. I do have the GameCube with the Sega Genesis hooked up on here with just a shitty. You can see that. That goes into the cable. So, yeah, I had that, and of course I got the TurboGrafx 16 and the Nintendo, the NES, and the Sega CD 32X all hooked up to this TV. So I won't even have to mess with it. So there's pretty much all the consoles I have hooked up, because I do have more consoles. I have like 20 right there in the Odyssey 2, and I got a couple consoles in my storage. So just wanted to share this with y'all. Hopefully you guys can copy the same way if you're tired of hooking and unhooking all your consoles. This is a really good investment. A little bit of work to get all this shit going. Turn that shit off. So yeah, and if you guys did a better way to do this, show me on your comments or make a video response. I really like to see everyone's setup. Until then, this is Chuckles with Lights Again with Chuckles, and you have a good